Hey y'all, it's Natasha and I have another tutorial for you. Today I'll show you how to do some quick nail art using a stamping plate. So I must admit that I never really cared for stamping. I don't really have a reason, I just kind of felt that it wasn't my thing. And besides, I felt that if I was charging for nail art, I probably should do it by hand. But recently I've had a change of heart. And I believe that if you use the right plate design and layer it with other nail embellishments, you can come up with something really cute that's super fast, creative, and trendy looking. Yeah, I know some professionals are still shaking their head thinking stamping plates don't really go with their aesthetic. But trust me on this one, and keep watching to be inspired. So let's jump into some gel nail art. I started with 2 coats of gray polish and cured it between each coat. And then I added a thin coat of builder gel to help secure the mylar paper. I loosely measured the paper to the nail, making sure to cut it a little bit shorter so I can reduce the amount of mylar overlapping the nail. You guys have seen me do this before in previous tutorials, so you know that it's best not to have any hanging pieces. So once I cured the builder gel, I would use an old pair of cuticle nippers to snip away the overlapping pieces. Next, I would apply a thin layer of builder to ensure that the mylar stays secure throughout the duration of the manicure. And I will make sure to cap the free edge with the builder as well. And once I'm finished, I'll go ahead and cure. When I remove the nail from the lamp, I will wipe away the inhibition layer using 91% isopropyl alcohol. And then I will buff to remove any bulk builder gel while making sure the nail is even and that I haven't removed too much of the builder. And when I'm finished, I'll go ahead and remove the dust. So at this point, I realized that the mylar was overpowering the look that I was going for. So I decided to add another thin coat of gray. But then the nail didn't sparkle the way that I wanted it to, so I had to remove a little bit of the gel from each strip using alcohol and a brush. Please watch closely so you can see the method. So once I'm finished, I'll go ahead and cure, and then I'll be ready to stamp. Today I'm using an animal print plate. Go ahead and check the description box below for more information. So now that I have the image on my stamper, I'll go ahead and apply it to the nail. For stamping polish, I used the Black LA Colors Art Deco polish. So this is my first time stamping, and after some research, I now know how to enlarge an image, but at the time I didn't, so now I have to add some alterations to this image, which I would have did anyway because it looked a little bit generic. So I added some spots and some additional open C's. And once I was finished, I let the nail dry for like 1 or 2 minutes. And then I painted it with top coat and cured. As usual, I'll go ahead and remove the inhibition layer and I'll show you how I style the remaining nails. So this is the end of the tutorial. And I want to thank all of you for your support. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please go ahead and like this video and share it on your social media platforms. For those of you who haven't subscribed, do yourself a favor and do it now so you can become part of our growing gel nail art community. I'll see you guys later this week for another inspiring nail art tutorial.